Hello beautiful souls, and welcome to my channel. My name is Marianne, and today I'm really super excited to be doing a tarot and oracle review on love. So there are 3 decks that I'll be using today, and I thought I would do something different. So if you're here for the review and the flip through, I'll be doing, I'll put timestamps in there, and at the end I'd like to see how we can integrate all the 2 tarot cards and the oracle cards and see how they play together. So for today, I'll be doing the Modern Love Tarot, the Erotic Tarot, and the Pleasure Oracle. Each review, I am going to try to timestamp them, so if there's one that you want to see instantly, I'm hoping you'll be able to find it down in the description box. Wish me luck that I'm able to do that for you, and that way, you're here for what you need to be here for. So let's begin with the Modern Love Tarot. So here we are for our first tarot review on Modern Love Tarot. It says Exploring the Many Facets of Love. It was published by Ethnicities Enterprises, and the release date was January 1st of 2021. I was lucky enough to find this deck in a mystical shop up north from where I live, and it was for really cheap. I actually got it for $20. So my first impression of the deck, it is beautiful. I have used it, so the review, the deck flip through will not be in order. But I love the deck. It looks at the different aspects of what family is, love, the diversity of love in modern day society. It's a beautiful deck. The box is stunning as well. I love boxes like this because it makes it easy to remove and put your deck back into the box. Here is the guidebook. It's very thick, and it takes each card. So for example, you have your Page of Swords, and depending on how you're doing the reading, it could be a general love reading. It's if you're single, if you are in a relationship, if you're dating, if you're struggling in your relationship or ending your relationship. You're able to read that card, the cards in many ways. The artwork is absolutely stunning. Here you go. You get the gold side. Here's the back. The stock is pretty thick. It's easy to shuffle, which for me, I struggle with shuffling, so having a card that's easily to shuffle is wonderful as well. It's just a beautiful, beautiful deck. So let's go now through the flip through. is the Erotic Tarot. This was first made available in February of 2021. It was published by Lawrence King Pub, illustrated by Sophie Birkin, and the text is by Fickle Finger of Fate and designed by Georgia Cherian. Okay. Oops. Here is a guidebook. Has your typical meanings, the key words for each card, what the image is, the advice, and the taking care part for the card that you pull. And here it is. And here is the deck itself. There's the back of the deck, some of the illustrations. Building. Now I have played with these. I have yet to use them. So as I mentioned in the introduction, after we go through the review, we'll see how the 3 cards play with one another, and we can go from there. So let us begin our flip through. to our third deck review. We are going to look at the Pleasure Oracle. This came out in April 2021. It was published by Hardy Grant Books and authored by Jericho Mandiber. Okay, so it is a 52 card deck. There is no guidebook that comes along with it. The cardstock is great. I liked it. I shuffled it and did a quick reading when I first purchased the deck. The meanings of each image that you see at the front is located at the back. So we'll see how this flip through goes. There is no back of the card because, as you can see, it's the imagery of what the card of the card, and then in the back is its meaning. Okay, so we will begin. So before we go on to the reading, I thought I'd give you my final thoughts on each of the three decks. I love each and every one of them. I think I could get a lot out of it. Probably more out of the Modern Love Tarot. I am intuitive, so I use the details in the card and I grab the energy from the imagery for the readings. And I like the fact that they're modern pictures, right? Like you could draw on your current environment the feel of it, you know, just taking a look at the surroundings of the image. I feel like you could get a lot from that and draw a lot from it. The Erotic Tarot has different elements. So they don't have your typical swords and roses. Oh, sorry, swords and wands and pentacles. So what they have here for their elements is the candles, which represent wands, which that's pretty intuitive because of the fire. So it reads here that these cards are about desire, motivation, and power, right? People with fire tendencies lean toward physical activity, extroverted expression, and creative energy. Seduce them with spontaneity and enthusiasm. Roses are coins, which is earth. And the earth suit is concerned with all things that delight the senses, from the natural world to beautifully crafted objects. Earthy types enjoy the stimulation and security of things they can touch, smell, and taste. Seduce them with homemade cake and a sumptuous hotel room. The feathers are swords, which is air. Our intelligence are unleashed in the air. Fantasies, storytelling, and all manner of game twists and tests. Air people can be curious, playful, challenging, and seduce them with mystery and poetry. And then the shells is cups, which obviously the element is water. These cards are about relationships, spirituality, and emotions. Those drawn to water are concerned with inner feelings, romance, and creating harmony. Seduce them with intimacy and understanding. I'm not a fan of the red backing. Rightly so. I have a hard time reading as it is, so the red really does something to my visual senses, but I can make do. The imagery on here, I mean, they have your 6 of shells, your roses. I mean, they're pretty erotic in nature. I think to start, I would need to read the meaning of the card in the guidebook, primarily because I don't believe that the 6 of shells in the Erotic Tarot is your classic 6 of cups. So it'd be very interesting to see how that plays out as well in our reading. The Pleasure Oracle. Oops, this one's how to use it. I'll put that back. Doesn't have a guidebook. I mean, the image, I like this type of art. So I don't really have any negative things to say about the art of it. It's really the meaning behind the card. So for example, let's say we receive this one. In the back it says sacred senses. Sight, sound, and touch are exquisite senses. Their effects in the realm of passion are obvious. Most of us appreciate them regularly. It's our other senses, smell and taste, that remain somewhat underrated. Yet both have a critical role to play in a holistically satisfying, libidinous experience. Action. Scent etches itself onto our memories. Tastes linger for years after their initial flavor is lost. Our senses are sacred, and when tenderly united, they can take a so-so sensual encounter and turn it into a transcendent one. As they say in the psychedelic field, it's about set and setting. Surround yourself with lush candles and sweet treats. Savor it all. So we will see how all 3 cards play in our reading. Okay, well, here we are. We are going to see how the 3 decks that we just did reviews for play with one another. So just to recap, we have the Modern Love Tarot deck. We also have the Erotic Tarot. And of course, the Pleasure Oracle. Okay, let's see how we will do with these. Let's start off with finding our energies in love for the collective. And as always, we welcome Spirit to join us today in the collective reading, love reading. Here we go. What does the collective need to know? What messages and energies? Here we go. That was easy. So I'll just show you the imagery for these. Okay. So we have the first one that came out is Let It Be Easy. And it reads, when there's a battle raging in your mind between your inner critic and your sense of empowerment, the only winning move is not to play, to get out of your head entirely. How? Breathe. Breathe deeply, fully, and with a cleansing, a grounding intention. Breathe as if every breath contains all life, all the answers, all the case, because it does. Sorry, that's all the E's. Oh my goodness. The action. How does your relationship to yourself need simplifying? Where can you disentangle the knots of aloofness and resistance from your intimate relationships with something as easy as a word or a touch? Don't think about it. Journal it, or better yet, let instinct guide you in the moment. Let it all be easy. Oh, and then we have deep, delicious rest. You are not a robot, honey. You're human, not machine. Your worth cannot be measured by your efficiency or your productivity. Your moral purity has nothing to do with hard work. If anything, you have a moral obligation to train yourself out of these harmful, capitalistic ideas and to learn the art of deep, delicious rest. Action, no distraction via TV, not a short moment of respite, largely captured for social media. Genuine rest, the kind that allows healing at the cellular level, whether it's sleep, doodling, eating, or doing nothing. Find a way to recoup mind, body, and soul. There's profound ease and regeneration to be found there. Oh, wow. It's almost as if the deep, delicious rest needs to come first before let it be easy. With the deep, delicious rest, I'm getting that there are some of you who have been in a relationship for a very, very long time, and you get stuck in life. Or I don't even want to say stuck, because you're not stuck. Life happens, and you've got kids, or you have responsibilities, you've got bills to pay, and you're moving in that, you're just moving, right? You're moving with what needs to get done in today's moment, like things that need to get done for yourself, for your family, for your partner. And I feel that there needs to be a little bit of rest and healing, just to take a break for yourself, whatever that means. And once you start to take care of yourself and take the rest and kind of melt in the deliciousness of rest, right? Whether it's if you go into yoga and it's the shavasana that you're finding the rest that you need, just kind of melt into it, right? And if you don't do yoga, that's okay. Find time in the day to rest. Take a nap. If your body's calling for a nap, take a nap. Right? It doesn't have to be long. Just set your timer. You're good, right? And once you get into this delicious rest, or once you have a moment where you are rested, everything else will start to flow. And then all of a sudden, these things that are in your head that may be impacting your partnership, all of a sudden becomes easy and not as You're not as focused on the negative part of it, if that makes sense, right? And it says here, don't think about it. And that's what rest is, right? For some people do have a difficult time resting, because when they rest, their mind is forever going and forever moving, right? It just keeps going. Our minds, that's just what our minds do. But if we take a moment, come out of our external environment, come inwards for just a brief moment, that will allow, or everything else will fall into place with ease. And you won't even notice how it has fallen into place. I encourage you to take a moment to meditate. And even if your rest means taking a walk on your own, or just, maybe it's just sitting in the car, you know, for a little bit before you go into the house or before you go into your space, right? Whatever's available to you, to take that moment, a few minutes, to take a moment for yourself, to breathe into the breath, to focus onto your breath, just to allow the body to relax and release and let go of the tension, the stresses that it's holding on to. You will find that slowly everything will become easy. And it won't be as, I want to say, bold in your mind, right? Yeah, and I think that'll just be really wonderful and beautiful. And I know with the holiday season coming, we're going to be busy. And again, we're going to be focused on going here and going there, what to get, how to, preparing. Maybe you're at work, you're dealing with year-end tasks that need to get done by December 31st. So I think that taking the time to rest, to recuperate, and again, and heal at the cellular level will be so beneficial. And you will see a difference. And you might not see the difference instantly, but if it becomes a habit, you will eventually see. I promise you that you will see. Okay, so let's continue on with this and what the collective needs to know as far as love is concerned. And again, love does not necessarily mean a romantic love. It could be a love, as you can see, with a deep, delicious rest and let it be easy. It is love of the self, or self-care, self-love. So let's draw a few more cards and see where we sit here. I know I feel like I need to keep going. All right, this is a lot. Let's see how this goes. So we have the Ten of Swords. These came out first. The Three of Pentacles. And the Two of Pentacles. The Five of Wands. The Queen of Pentacles. I'm moving to make sure that you can see this. I've changed my camera view, so I apologize if it goes out of frame. Then we have the Six of Pentacles. Oh, a lot more. We have the Death card. The Ace of Swords. The Page of Cups. I feel like this needs to be like this. The Two of Wands, and then the Four of Cups. Let me tell you, the ending is beautiful. Okay, so if we go from left to right, from top to bottom, we have the Ten of Swords. It says divorce and divorce certificate, but I'm not reading a separation or anything, so don't be bothered by that image. What I'm seeing is, I'm feeling tension. I'm feeling you're holding on to a lot of, maybe it's a lot of responsibilities. Maybe there's a lot of stress that's happening in the workplace that's impacting the home. Yeah. But right now, for some, I feel like there's a lot of stress and a lot of holding of emotions that's happening here. And a walking away. I know the imagery here looks like you're walking into the tension, but for me, with it being a clock, I feel like you feel that there's a timeline here. I honestly do. I feel that it has a lot to do with year end. And but here's the thing, right? With the Three of Pentacles following it, I feel like you notice the tension. You're aware of the stresses that you are embodying at the moment, that your body is feeling. But I feel with the Three of Pentacles, it's like you know, you're aware of this, so you're actually walking away of it. Like you're walking out this door. Like that's what I'm feeling. That you're walking away from the stresses. Like you're aware of it. You're acknowledging it. And now you're like, you're going to walk away from it. So with the Three of Pentacles, so that you've acknowledged it, you've kind of set your goal, right? You want to, you want to make a change, is what I'm feeling here, right? You're telling yourself that this can't be happening anymore. I need to make changes because it's impacting my life balance, right? This is maybe it's work-life balance, right? And it's impacting this tension that you're getting from external sources, right? Whether it be work, it could also be your relationship at home. You're like, you don't want it anymore because you have a goal. And this Three of Pentacles tells me you're acknowledging it. You know you have a goal in place. You recognize that it's impacting your work-life balance, and that is reflected here with the Five of Wands. Right? So you're making changes. All right? And I think because with the Pentacles, you're going up and down, it's a reflection here. Like you know what you want. You know what you need to curate and concoct in your life, right? I'm feeling Magician in this card, right? Because you're manifesting these. You're manifesting abundance. You're looking at alternatives, whether it be alternative healing or an alternative workplace. So you can get that balance so it's not impacting your home or your family life, your home life, right? And I feel, this healing of the Queen of Pentacles, and this manifestation and the abundance that you're seeking and creating and curating is going to bring, you're going to end up sharing it, and you're going to be exchanging it's like a love exchange, right? Yeah, there's a love exchange here because you're working hard to make the change, and your partner is noticing that you're trying hard to make the change. So there's that death and that transformation, which kind of coincides with the Queen of Pentacles, right? And then with the death followed by the Ace of Swords, it's just that now that this transition is moving from stress to abundance, right? Stress, healing, balance, coming to abundance, sharing that abundance, right? Through the wealth of love, you're transforming yourself, right? You're transforming And in that transformation is knowledge and empowerment. All right. And remember I said about letting, like once you have that rest and that healing and that deliciousness of rest, everything that happens that you do and touch and seek, the journey gets a little bit easier because you're healing and resting, you're acknowledging, right? And it being easy, it's like a childlike playfulness in you, right? So you moved from the stress, you know, if I may say, the crankiness and the bitchiness. You moved out of that, and that whole environment, that whole like toxicity that was around you, and now with all this transformation, you're now like have a childlike playfulness, right? That brings you and your partner or your family, you know, closer together, right? Again, there's that exchange of love, right? And a celebration with the Four of Cups, right? So now, you know, I don't know, I just find that there's a happiness in it and glee as a result of that, right? However, I do notice this figure here, where she doesn't look well, being offered a drink. So for some, it will be a long road where you're not going to feel very well. But at the end, you know, for the most part of the journey, you know, it's coming to mind easy peasy, lemon squeezy, right? So now with the Erotic Tarot, we'll delve deeper into the Four of Cups with the Erotic Tarot. I will read from the book because the Erotic Tarot deck isn't necessarily, obviously the reading would be like your classic tarot, and if you did manage to come through the flip through, you'll notice it's there, you know, not everything has image. But let's see how it goes, and we'll talk about the Four of Cups and more specifically about the image in the middle where she doesn't look well. So tell us more about that. We know that for the majority of the journey, it's going to be, the end result will be happiness and celebratory. But what about the image in the middle here where she doesn't look complete or satisfied or ill? Tell us more about that. The Four of Cups in that energy, specifically that woman, or that, no gender here, so that energy of, let's call it energy. The energy in the center is being offered. Tell us more about that in the Four of Cups. Oh, lots, okay. So we have the Queen of Roses, the Knight of Feathers, the Seven of Feathers, the Nine of Feathers, the King of Candles, and the Queen of Candles. With the Knight of Feathers here and the King of Candles, I just feel that there's a sense of restriction, not being able to control. I just feel that this middle energy here are the ones that are bound. So there's this sense of lack of control, a sense of restriction, a sense of bondage, unable to speak because in the King of Candles, the king is holding her throat. So the journey is will be restricting. And I feel that this energy is probably with the blowout with the Five of Wands. I won't say probably, is due to the blowout with the Five of Wands. And I'm more inclined to place these two cards, the Knight of Feathers and the King of Candles, onto the Five of Wands. Because remember, there's no time here. I know I said year end, there's a clock there, but I'm not reading for time and saying, oh, this is going to happen at the end of the month, December 31st. But with the clock here, it just tells me that you've been under this duress for quite some time, right? The Five of Wands energy with this, the argument or because there was an imbalance between work and life, it impacted the home, right? And this or the partnership, right? And this blowout in partnership was feeling restricted, feeling, you couldn't speak, or there was a lack of communication that was happening between you and your person, right? And a sense of loss of control, right? Someone was dominating the other, and I think there was a feeling of subdue. I don't know if that's a word, subdueness, right? But in the end, if you hold on and you'll see that this blowout led to you being the Queen of Pentacles. I have a feeling the Queen of Roses Pentacles, but the Queen, because this blowout, right, brought you to this place, right? And if I'm correct, and the Queen of Roses it's either roses, I think roses is cups. Let me see. Let's find out which candles. So, no, yes, I was right. Pentacles. Yeah, so look at that. You got two Queen of Pentacles or Queen of Roses. When I saw this, I was like, oh my God, she's powerful. She's found her empowerment, right? You're standing tall, strong, and confident, right? At the end, where in the Queen of Pentacles in this Modern Love Tarot, I was feeling more of you're curating, you're healing, you're finding ways, I guess in a sense, to empower yourself in healing. And in the end, you came out stronger, right? Through this healing and curating process, right? So that is the Four of Cups energy right here, along with the Queen of Candles. And again, this Queen of Candles, you standing up, being bold, and what's coming to my mind is bold delicious. It's like a combination, being bold and delicious and being sensual with yourself, right? Like, it's just you're finding, or you will find in your transformation, your own sense of self. So if you feel lost or parts of you are missing, you'll find it, right? You're going to find it. Now with the 7, so we have the 7 and 9 of feathers. So let's see. Okay. So we have here the 7 of feathers speaks to the thrill of a secret, a hidden kink, poor effort, insufficient preparation, failure to follow through, need for strategic planning. And then for 9 of feathers, we have, because 9 of feathers is swords. So the 9 of feathers, oh, woe is you, churning anxiety caused by an unfortunate chain of events or caused by anxiety, the slow birth, pangs of a great realization. And what did I say, right? Like, if I'm not mistaken, these came before the Queen of Candles. So it just reiterates the fact that the journey is not going to be you're gonna hit bumps in the roads in the journey, right? As you transform, right? As you transform and find yourself and all that. It's not going to be an easy journey, but you'll get there, right? You'll hit bumps in the road, but you'll get there, no doubt. For sure, you'll get there. So let's pull more cards with the 7 of feathers and the 9 of feathers. And let's dig a little bit deeper with that. Okay. I want to make sure we're still in frame. So tell us more about the 7 and 9 of feathers. What is the bridging energy for the 7? Oops. Okay. Whoops. The 5 of roses. So the 5 of cups. These are good card stock, by the way. So we have the 5 of roses, which is also the 5 of cups. There we go. Let's see their meaning of the 5 of roses. Oops. Oh, sorry, coins, pentacles. My bad. Okay. So the bridging energy between the 7 of feathers and the 9 of feathers is the 5 of roses. So expect disruption, a sharp realization that you've been mistaken in what you think is important. Appreciate the love and healing you receive. Send your energy in the right place. Enjoy slow but steady recovery. And there you have it, right? So even though you're going to hit these bumps in the roads, right, during your transformation and your journey from the 10 of swords to the 4 of cups, right? And it talks about mistaking what's really important here. And this is where we talk about let it be easy and the deep, like I'm going to bring it back to the deep, delicious rest, right? And I know if I'm repeating myself, but this whole thing is just, wrapping itself under the deep, delicious rest, that once you get into that deep, delicious resting state of doing nothing and just being, and I told you, everything's just going to fall into place and make it easy. And all of a sudden, what is important is no longer important. And that is the energy that you need, that's important to take away from here, right? Is to take the rest that you need. And things will fall into place the way it should be with ease. I'm going to leave it right here. Thank you so much for staying with me today and, going through the review and having a reading at the end to see how the cards play out, I think is a beautiful, beautiful ending. If you have not already and you find that the reading or you want to learn more about some of the decks, I do have other decks that I'll be reviewing shortly. Please subscribe to the channel. It supports me, it supports my efforts and what I want to give back to the community. And thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to sit with me today. I truly, truly appreciate your energy. Thank you so much for your love, your support, and I wish you all well. Namaste.